Welcome to TKK Collector at the Poke Chalet, where you have an old man losing subscribers because his son, the Pokemon Collector, is no longer on screen. That's fine. So let's talk Pokemon from the Pokemon card store owner's perspective up here in way old Canada. So this week, I think this week or next week, things are rough here at the Poke Chalet. But next week we should be seeing Journey together. Now I got my allocations. My allocations were 30% of what I normally would get from Surging Sparks. I got a lot less, which is not ideal. But as you guys know, Canada has applied tariffs and Pokemon is getting hit with the tariffs. And as a result, my allocation and my allocation goes down, but the prices go up, and it's going to be a lot more expensive here in Canada to collect Pokemon. I'm sorry, but that's the nature of tariffs. If we apply tariffs, if Canadians apply tariffs, we pay more. The Americans don't even have tariffs active yet, so they don't know that once the tariffs are applied, they pay more. Maple syrup, whew, it's going to go up there. Lumber. Anyway, I'm going to digress. I don't want to talk about that. I'm talking about Pokemon. So allocations are lower. Prices are higher. There's an extreme cooling going on in the Canadian Pokemon market right now. And I'm judging purely anecdotally from my own web store. We've gone from, let's call it maybe like $1,000 in orders a day down to maybe 100 or 200. So that's a steep drop off. Now, it could be that people are saving their money for Journey Together. Could be. Could be that my inventory is not as appealing. Well, the fact is I can't buy booster boxes, I can't buy ETBs, I can't buy sealed product. All I got is my singles. But I'm telling you, my singles have been pretty good because I've had a few of my bigger customers decide that they're only going to collect Japanese from now on. They've given me a lot of their English to sell, and it's really, well, maybe it's higher end cards, but anyway, real big drop off in the order quantity and the size of orders, but I still, singles are the lifeblood of Poke Chalet, and I do try to buy as much as I can or get as much as I can, but singles are work, and we are renovating the Poke Chalet. We're renovating our house so that I can actually have a business area to do this stuff in my spare time. Like a place to put booster boxes if I had them, and ETBs if I had them, and well, I have sleeves. So the basic idea is we're renovating Poke Chalet. We're hoping to get bigger. Allocation got cut. I haven't been able to really buy much from Pokemon distribution lately. I bought a lot in January and February, but because reasons, I'm not buying as much in March because basically there's nothing to buy. Now I have been in talks with distribution. I've been saying, you know, what's going on? I spent a lot of money. Can I spend even more? It's a weird dynamic with distribution. You say, oh, I spent, you know, 60 grand last month. Can I spend a bit more? And the answer is, no, they don't have anything. Now I've been talking with them, and they've told me, and this might be smoke up the proverbial pipe, but they've told me that my account has been categorized as sort of on the upper end of the medium-sized counts they have for here in Canada. And obviously stores like brick and mortars would be larger accounts, but from an online basement dweller account, that's a compliment. But I spoke to some other guys and they tell that to everybody. You might be just blowing the old smoke. But anyway, I think we're pretty big. Like, we feel big, like active. We feel important. But we feel like we have product. And unfortunately, I wish we could get more. I think every single store in Canada is like this. Every single store in Canada who is suffering now to figure out how to price their sealed product is having this conundrum. And the conundrum is, I've got a new allocation price. And what's happened is, well, I used to probably charge less on my products than the new price that I have to pay. So there's a change there. There's a difference. So obviously there was some profit from allocation and from what you'd sell previously. The question will be, do you increase your prices so you make about the same profit monetarily wise? Like if you made $100, would you want to make $100 on the new set? Or would you try to say, well, I want to do 1% of that new price? And that's a question that store owners will have to figure out. Or do I want to say, I'm going to be a goody two shoes and I'm going to try to eat as much as the tariff as possible. Because the market is hot, card stores that are charging market, they're okay, right? They can say they're eating the cost. But if you're a store that sort of tried to sell under MSRP and etc., there's not a lot to eat. And that's the decision that I had to make. So my decision was to say, if I made $10 on a booster box before, I'm going to try to make $10 on the booster box now. $10, not 10%, not 15%, $10. And the market should allow it. The reason the market should allow it is because it's still hot, like it's cooling, but there's still people emailing me and contacting me through the store and saying, do you got any Journey Together? And the answer is, right now the answer is, if you guys watch the videos, and I know some of you guys do, you watch the videos, you don't buy from the bookshelf, that's perfectly fine. You watch the videos and you say, this guy might have something. So I am now emailing my Journey Together list. I had a Prismatic Evolutions list. I think I cleared the queue. But Journey Together, I have a list of people. And I went through and I took my allocation and I spread it out. I said, I want to give a little bit to everyone. And obviously my big accounts get a little bit more. Accounts being my customers, big customers get a little more. Spread it out. And now I have my list, my customer list, and I'm going to start emailing them. And I'm going to say, listen, I can get you an ETB in a booster box. Do you want it? This is the new price. This is how I priced it. If you want it, let me know. If you don't, let me know. Because truthfully, I think there's other people who are going to want it. Now, here's the math. The math for booster boxes is that if I wanted to make that same amount, my booster box has to hit MSRP booster box, basically the old Pokemon Center MSRP. ETBs with all of their ETBs, they're higher than MSRP. So the tariffs make them higher with MSRP if I add my little margin. And oddly, I get more booster boxes than I do ETBs. And that doesn't make any sense from an allocation perspective, but I guess they see that I've been constantly buying booster boxes, because most of my customers, they're big customers. Most of my customers are not single collection box customers. They're case buyers. And I wish I was getting like 100 cases so that I could give them they want to buy multiple cases, but I have not been successful in boosting my allocation. So yes, my prices for booster boxes are going to be around MSRP, but they're all spoken for from existing clientele. ETBs are going to be up there above MSRP, but they also are all spoken to from clientele. There are some customers who say, I'd like one of everything. So the customers that have one of everything, so I'll be sending them a booster bundle, I'll be sending them an ETB, sending them a booster box, sending them, I think, 3-pack blisters. So here's the thing. I've always wanted 3-pack blisters. I think they're a great product, 3-pack blisters. But distribution will not give them out. They'll not let us have them. I've been trying to order as many as possible 3-pack blisters. My allocation of 3-pack blisters, a case is 24. I got six 3-pack blisters. That's nothing. That's like 3 promo sets. And I love to make these promo bundles where you buy this, you get the ETB bundle. I guess you'd have to get the booster box promo too. But ETB bundle, 3-pack blister bundle, check lane bundles. Even my check lanes have been drastically reduced. My check lane allocation is super low. It's like Like normally you don't want check lanes, right? Nobody wants check lanes. But now, anyway. And sleeves. So normally I'll buy like a case of sleeves, which is 144 sleeves. And I have a case buyer who continually says, okay, yeah, I'll take 144 sleeves. And what he does is he rips a lot and sells a lot. That's fine. You can rips a lot, sells a lot. I'm getting 36 sleeves. So normally I'm going from 144 down to 36. Huge difference. So Pokemon is either not printing I'm being nice to distribution, or they are delaying the release of product so that over the course of the next 4 to 6 months, they have product of a certain set to release to stores. So that brings us to another topic. A lot of people I'm seeing, like Dr. Applesauce, if you give him his PhD, Mr. Applesauce was complaining about MJ Holdings and the old distributors selling on marketplace for market prices. Now, as you guys know, there's more distributors that do that. Hint, there's a Canadian distributor that does that. They're over on the West Coast. My distributor does not. But I talked to my distributor about it. I asked him questions, and it was a grandfathered in. What it was, I think, is a store that became so critical that they became a distributor. And I think that theoretically might be able to happen if the market can support it in that jurisdiction. The East Coast doesn't have any distributor. Anyway, Pokemon, listen up. Let me distribute. Send me. So I'd love to have a warehouse. Imagine that warehouse, walking around seeing cases, being the old Rudy. But anyway, so that's the situation with the allocation, and people are still contemplating a journey together, and I have not been able to do much about it. Brings us to another thing that's happening in the arena of Pokemon this week. Last week, Hot Air Arena, or Heat Wave Arena, I don't know which is the official Japanese translation, but was released. And so I have some Japanese contacts. I have one guy who's always expensive but reliable, and then there's another one that is market but unreliable. And when I say unreliable, on a whim he may cancel the order. He may say, you know what, no, I'm not going to ship it. And I think I'm in that situation again. I ordered from him on release day. I said, hey, give me this product. You sent me the price. Here's the payment. I think they're going to cancel because it's now end of day Monday and they haven't shipped it yet. So I think I need to go shopping for another Japanese contact. Someone who's more both reliable and not as expensive as my other guy. My other guy is all about, oh, you want me to answer this email? It's a fee. You want to do this? It's a fee. I don't know if I'll ever get to the point where I actually feel comfortable sending money to Japan without having security. Like it being a credit card, it being a PayPal. These wire transfers to Japanese contacts, I don't think I'll ever get there. I'm too risk averse, and it is a risk that you'd have to take in order to do that. Alas, I have customers who are saying, when are you getting in Hot Air Arena? When are you getting Heat Wave Arena? And my answer was soon, but it doesn't look good. It does not look like it's gonna happen. I think I ordered when they were 10,000 yen a box. I think they're creeping up to 11.5 currently, which is a lot. And once you order in quantity, I think maybe that's my problem, is I order a lot at once, and then these resellers in Japan say they'll ship one box and lose $10, but they will not ship 20 boxes and lose $200, if that makes sense. So I think that's what I'm facing with the old Hot Air Arena. I think many store owners face this. Once you get a good contact, then that's gold. But I haven't been able to get one for a while. I had one back in 2022, 2023. I had a good contact. I had lots of good Japanese access, but there was a dip in the whole market. But alas, here I am. I don't have a really good Japanese contact, and unfortunate for me, I'm going to lose out on sales. I know a lot of people would be loving to rip Hot Air Arena, and I don't have it. So that's the update from Ryan at the Poke Chalet. I hope that maybe this pause in singles traffic is just a momentary saving of money for Journey Together, because it's a sign. There's a sign that seal product is very, very expensive, and maybe there's an overall cooling of Japanese. Maybe all these people who said, I am sick, not the Japanese, of Pokemon. I'm sick of scalpers. I'm sick of not being able to have some fun and rip some packs. I am done with the whole collecting hobby for now. And that happens. I mean, Rudy from Alpha Investments, he'll say, if you're still hearing that, then that's a good sign the market is still hot. Well, the numbers don't lie, nor do the hips. And there's cooling going on. And I think you see it in the stock market, you see it in Bitcoin. I'm seeing it in Pokemon market. Luckily, I've been establishing what I'll call long-term collectors. I've been collecting collectors who know that I like cards, know that, I'm fair. So we'll see what happens. I hope you guys are having fun collecting. This is one of the most interesting things about collecting, is that you don't have to be worried about this money stuff that this guy on the website, Poke Chalet, just talked about. At this point in time, you could actually be focused more on establishing your niche, establishing what makes you happiest about the opening of a binder or the flipping through slabs. Because everything was like really, really high, and things are high, and they're going to come down. You're going to see a dip. When you see that dip, when you see it go down and flatten again, that's your time. That's when you say, I want a felt hat Pikachu because I don't have one. That's when you say, it's time for me to buy that SAR that I like. That's the time. Now, it's not now. I'd sure go ahead and buy it now, but it's not now, but it's coming. Will it come before Team Rocket? I don't think so. I think Team Rocket, the destined rivals, is going to be a similar thing as Journey Together, but it's going to come. It might be right after Destined Rivals, because what happens is when they change eras, when we go from Scarlet and Violet to this new era that we expect to happen sometime after the summer, there is change, and change is hard. So what we might see is a dip in the change, a dip then. So I expect in September, October, there's going to be a change, and people do not like change. That's your time to go ahead and knock off your collection goals, to make some decisions. It also means right now is the time you should be getting things that you don't want in your collection rehomed. This is the time. I mean, I think the peak is over. There's a downward slope for a little while. I think now is the time to trade, focus, and try to establish which cards you want to have for the Saturday afternoon where you're sitting on your couch, your binder's right there, and you want to flip through it. So, thanks guys. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Cheers.